I'm like really close. Okay.
Lean back.
Now
Lean back. Lean back.
That's the perks of being on the YouTube channel. Hello and welcome back to another bounce back with Sonja and Mady.
Yeah.
I almost said Mady and Sonja, but I forgot she's my elder, so.
I don't like that word. Please stop. Never say it again. Elder?
It's a respect thing.
Okay.
It has been a hot freaking minute since we filmed.
So hot.
It's been hot in LA, and it's also just
So hot.
been a.
I mean, smoking
It's hot, so delicious. I know I trust the what I got. Anyways, yeah, it's been hot as F in LA, but it's also been a hot freaking minute since we've posted. We were just talking about this. It's been probably like a year since we posted. The last time we posted a bounce back episode was when we lived in Orange County, and we have been living in LA for about a year now, which is freaking crazy, and something that I honestly, like, I knew I would move to LA eventually, but the fact that I'm sitting here and I'm like, God, we've been living in LA for a year.
Yeah. So good. Best decision.
Yeah, I think it's sometimes you need that little push. You need to take that leap of faith and just, you know, trust it. And I mean, it's not that far from Orange County, but it is a culture shock. It's very different, but I feel like
what time of day you drive, it's far.
That's true. But I take the traffic any day over, you know, how I was feeling when I was living in Orange County. And there's no knock on Orange County. It's a beautiful place. It's, you know, I still have some of my best friends still live there. So it's not, there's nothing like that. I just needed a change. I feel like a lot of people go through that where you don't really want to stay where you've been your whole life. You want to try something different, and we did that. And my brother actually lives here now too. If you guys are coming from my channel or you just know anything about the past couple of years, my brother went to school in Boston for college for his, freshman year of high school? Not high school? Freshman year of college. I'm like, has it been that long since I've been in school?
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute. But he went to Boston for his freshman year of college. And if you know anything about our story, if you don't, definitely look at the, or listen to the episodes before this, but we kind of go into how my mom, brother, and I are like a unit. It's the three of us. It's always been the three of us. And if 1/3 of us is across the country, that's like a really big deal. Like, that's really hard. And it was really straining on all of us in different ways. And my brother realized that he didn't really want to be so far away, so now he's going to college in LA, and we all live here now, and it's been amazing. So,
yeah,
anything you want to add to being? What are the perks of living in LA? What have you experienced so far? You know, we've done like some fun stuff.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's so much to do, right? I mean, for me, day to day hasn't changed a ton in the sense of I still work from home in front of a computer. Doesn't really matter where it is. But the cool part is I know I can turn off my computer. 5 minutes later, I'm in a cool spot. We're having something to eat or a drink or just going on a hike. I mean, literally, there's so much to do, and there's always activity. Yeah. I think I love that. You think that, I don't know, I'm 51, so you think that, oh, you just want an easy, calm community. Actually, no. I like activity. Well, I like to hear stuff going on.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the one thing is, if you can't tell, now you know, this is my best friend basically. And no, it's funny because I'm always like, Mom, let's go do this, let's go do that. Like, I'd rather like go hang out with my mom nowadays. Like, I have friends obviously, but
have a good time.
But you said that about me, so who's the better time? I don't know. Let's do a poll down below. Who's a better time? Brief intermission. If you guys are not watching us on the YouTube channel, if you like watching videos on YouTube, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel because you get to see our facial expressions. You get to see the weird stuff that happens. We have some like bloopers that I add into the YouTube video. So if you're just listening to the audio, you might want to try watching the videos too because they're pretty entertaining and you get to see our beautiful faces. Anyways, yeah, but living in LA, so yeah, I mean, you, go, Yes, what is your favorite thing that we've done since we moved to LA? Because we've like gone to some, that was Boo. I was trying to figure out where she was, and I just heard something move in a closet.
Yeah. So I think the favorite thing, well, going to see Kaylani at concert was probably hands down.
Oh my God,
the best.
I
ever.
almost forgot.
Twice.
I can't believe I
in
forgot
3 days.
That.
I mean,
yeah, not even.
Boom.
They were like the back-to-back nights, weren't they? Or
no, it was a Saturday and a Monday.
For me, it felt like it was like the day after. I was so pumped after the first one. And the best part was, had we not lived as close as we do, like, you know, we live in LA now, so it's not like a mob to drive all the way from Orange County, like with traffic and everything. So we were able to get tickets like spur of the moment to another concert. And it was great because she had Mario was in the first one. The second one, she had JoJo. Get out.
And Jessie Reyes.
Right now. The end of you and me. But yeah, that was like literally my whole childhood was made that concert. And you know, it was so weird the timing too, because I was going through like a lot of emotional stuff, and the fact that I got to see like my favorite artist of all time twice in like the span of a couple days was truly, truly life-changing. And I mean, we even like kind of like met her on like a FaceTime. Yeah. Like it was crazy. Ever since we moved to LA, like this is just, I'm not even trying to like brag. What I'm trying to say is sometimes you just need to take that little leap of faith. And it's like, ours wasn't like a huge leap. I mean, it was kind of a big deal, but it also wasn't like a huge move. In the sense of distance. It's not like we moved across the country. No. But
any move, you've got to bet on yourself in life in general.
Yeah.
Any move is a big deal.
You know, yeah. And for her, you know, luckily her job didn't really change no matter where she lives. She's able to work from wherever. For my brother and I, you know, it was like a kind of like not a risk. It was more so a risk for him than it was for me. But it was just like putting myself in an environment where a lot of people have the same mindsets that I have, that have the same, you know, goals and dreams. And I've met like literally, I wouldn't say in the first year, but like at the end of the first year, basically now into the second year, I have met like some of my, and I call this like my soul family, like people that I'm sitting here like in awe that I've built these relationships, and I never would have met these people had I not moved to LA. Like there's no way I would have met them. There's no, it was a very weird, I don't believe in coincidences, but you know, like met like a bunch of people through one like mutual person. And it was random how we met the mutual person. It was literally like in a grocery store. Yeah. My mom met her in a grocery store.
Just started chatting it up.
One of my like friends, and it's just crazy. And it just became this whole thing. And I think we're both just so grateful for connections we've made, and just the chance we took a chance on ourselves. Yeah. And I think that's something that, you know, I want people to understand, that like when you bet on yourself and you take a chance on yourself and you really cut out the noise, cut out the, I call it the peanut gallery, but cut out the peanut gallery, the people, the naysayers who are going to have an opinion on, you know, what you're doing with your life. You know, something that one of my like close people that's kind of mentoring me in life, you know, she's told me that, you know, to kind of just be real with yourself on like who you're surrounding yourself with and who you're taking advice from. Because if there's people that are kind of hating on what you're doing, or they just have an opinion on what you're doing, when you look at their life, and it's not to be rude, it's not to be like, oh, like let me judge you. Like I'm the least judgmental person. But to look at that person and be like, do I take this advice because do they have what I want in life? Like if somebody's giving me advice about like unsolicited is what I mean. Unsolicited advice about like relationships, and they don't have a good relationship themselves. Why am I listening to them? And it's not that I don't love them. It's not that I don't care about them, but it's like, why does their opinion hold so much value in my mind if they don't have what I'm looking for? If they don't have the money I want to make, if they don't have the career success that I want, why am I listening to their advice? And that's something that I wasn't thinking like that until recently. And I feel like, you know, I mean, her and I have had lots of talks, and my mom's really good at kind of like vetting people, because I don't know if you guys are into astrology, but she's a Cancer, and Cancers like can read BS like a mother effer. Like she can see.
We may not act like we'll let you think that you're getting it over on us, but we know.
She is like, she can read people to a T. Like she will meet people that I know and she'll be like, no. Like, no. And she doesn't even give me like a reason. She just goes, no. And I'm like, all right, okay. And I think that's probably who I get it from, because I've always been the person who's like, you know, I get along with pretty much every single person, and but there's those certain people where I'm like, something's off. Like it's not like I don't like them, it's just there's something off, and I'm like, this is like a little weird. Like, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. And then something will happen later on and I'm like, all right. That's what was happening. I was trying to, my intuition was like, steer clear of this person and, you know, whatever. You learn your lesson, but.
You live and learn.
Yeah, exactly. But I think I've been more intentional with the relationships, friendships, like any kind of dynamic when it comes to relationships in my life recently. I've been very intentional with, you know, seeing, are these people that are going to actually want to see me succeed? Are these people that are actually going to, you know, add value to my life where I can add value too? Is this like, and something else that I've learned recently is like a relationship between, whether it's platonic, romantic, whatever, it's not 50-50, it's 100-100. And if that's not the case in your connections, then like you gotta kind of evaluate and be like, why am I wasting my energy on this? So yeah, I kind of just went on a tangent. What do you have anything to add to that?
No, I agree with everything. I think the cool thing is you're 25 and you're already getting this type of wisdom and education of life, which is amazing because, you know, sure, I think I did a lot of things well, but there's a lot of things I didn't do well, right? And you live and you learn type of thing, and the fact that you can identify that and you're already creating the life you want at your age is amazing. You know, I started doing that later in life, and that's okay.
She's only 50.
Everybody,
she's acting like she's
no,
old.
but everybody has a different path. Everybody has a different journey, and there's a reason. I fully believe there's a reason why we all go down different paths.
Yeah.
My path is because I have a different purpose, and that's fine. But I'm glad to see that you at 25 have all this wisdom. It's great.
Yeah, and I think that's something that my brother, if he was here, would say the same thing probably. I can't speak for him, but I know he would agree with me. I feel like, I don't know, we kind of just both, the reason why we are the way we are, and like we've been through so much, but that has made us stronger. It's made us more willing to actually find purpose in life and not just get a paycheck that is the number that we want, or to flex on people and, you know, get these like nice cars and nice houses and have that mindset of, you know, materialism. And like, not that those things aren't fun and like you don't work hard to get them, I'm not saying that, but you know, to really be taught the value of relationships, the value of life, the value of helping people. And I think a lot of things we went through, like had we not seen our mom struggle, had we not seen like a single mom and all the things she had to go through to get us to where we are, we wouldn't be the people we are. And we wouldn't, you know, I've been through some really weird things in the past few years, even recently, and with, you know, just people trying to come at me, I don't even know, but it's just, it makes you stronger, and it also builds character, and you can either fall into a victim mentality, or it builds your character. And I would much rather build character and grow from situations than to fall victim to things. And I think I learned that from you. So
yeah, I mean, without getting into the weeds, like Mady said, you can watch our previous episodes and see a little bit more about what happened to us. But you know, it's very easy to fall into that victim mindset when you're just, everything's coming at you and you feel like you're buried. And so many times over the course of the last 13 years, I guess, 11.
She's a numbers person.
I can't even do math right now.
No, but she loves to like,
11,
she goes, this in 2015 on this,
I know.
in this month, and I'm like, this woman is freaking nuts. Her memory is like gold, because I'm like, I don't even remember what year I graduated high school at this point. No, I know that. I'm just saying. I'm like, she's like, do you remember what year that was, like 2013? I'm like, Mom, I don't remember because my childhood is a blur. So
I can remember based on photographic memory, based on something that someone was wearing, music.
I do that too sometimes.
I don't know. I've just got this weird brain.
She's got really good memory.
Weird brain.
Really,
anyway,
a very intelligent brain.
But what I was saying, the last 11 years, everything that happened, you know, you do feel like you're buried sometimes, and like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And the phrase that I've always said, my kids laugh, but it's figure it out, right? Yeah. And I might write a book one day about that. But anyway, figure it out. My mom's was make it work. Mine's figure it out. And it was so many times, what are we gonna do, Mom? And I'm like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Now, what they didn't see inside was me freaking out.
But the craziest part is she always did. Like,
did.
there wasn't, and we never ended up on the street. We never, like, thank God. I mean, there's there's so much for me to be grateful for, and it could have been a lot worse, and I know that people have been through a lot worse, and I'm not discrediting that at all, because I will never ever be able to compare it to some of the things that people have gone through. And lucky enough, we were in a safe area, and yeah, we had roaches in our apartment, and it was like 3 of us in like a 1-bedroom apartment, but I had a roof over my head. Like, I was grateful. You know, it's not woe is me. Like, it's fine. And it teaches you character, and it teaches you how to make it work and figure it out. And that's what I've been taught my whole life from my grandmother and my mom. So
I didn't know. I mean, I always knew I was strong. I always said I'm strong. Yeah, I can get through anything. But until you actually are presented with something that's crazy, devastation that you've got to pull yourself out of, and you don't know how to do it, you don't really know your strength until then. And so these days I'm like, I don't know, anything. Nothing really phases me. I'm like, whatever. But it does help you to find your purpose. And I think the reason that, for me personally, why we went through that is because I do know what my purpose is, and I know what I need to do to help others, you know? And I wouldn't have known that had I not gone through that myself. So, yeah, I agree. Back to you.
Okay. Trying to figure out how to bring this up.
Oh no.
No, it's nothing.
What are we about to get into?
No, it's nothing bad. I just think I'm piggybacking off of kind of like what we've been talking about, and I feel like this is something that I actually had a friend message me about this today. Someone who's just like a mutual through social media, not one of my like personal connections. And just, I had posted something on YouTube about something that was something I haven't really like fully shared on social media, just because, one, like, again, I am like, you can ask my mom, you can ask the people closest to me, my friends, my brother, like, I don't play victim. I've never played victim. I always, if anything, which is kind of horrible, I shove feelings down sometimes, and I just like act like I'm fine, because like I'm like, I don't have time to worry about this right now. Like, I don't want pity, and I have a really hard time asking for help. I'm getting better at that. We're in therapy. We're doing good things for ourselves now. So I've got a therapist now that can help me through that. But, you know, I do have, and something that we've talked about again in another episode kind of, is obviously I grew up with a single mom. It's not that my dad wasn't really around, he just wasn't coherent. And the best way that I can put it is, you know, substances were involved. And you know, growing up with like a family member like that, and someone that's supposed to protect you and take care of you, and is supposed to be like, it's a dual thing, whether the parents are together or not. You kind of look at your parents, plural, if you have both parents in your life, because I know some people don't. I had both in my life. One was really there for me, and one was just, I was like, felt like I was parenting this parent. And you know, when you're a young kid, that's a really hard thing to go through. And I won't go into details, because I still, you know, this is my dad. Like, I love him at the end of the day, and I really don't want to, this is social media, so I don't want to like go into details. But if anything, it's made me stronger. It has built me up to realize that, you know what, like, I don't have to be like this, and that I'm worthy whether I had that person fully in my life or not. And I think that that's also something where, like, what is it? It's Glennon Doyle that says we can do hard things. And I always hear her voice in the back of my head. It's always like, she starts her episodes on her podcast with, we can do hard things. And I said that to my mom. I was going through something like a couple months ago, because it kind of like resurfaced recently. And I was like really struggling, but I was like, we were on our way to like a meeting or something, and I was just like, we could do hard things. I can do hard things. Yep. Like, I can do it. And I think that's the thing, is just knowing you can get through anything. Like, life is always going to throw things at you. You can't avoid things like that. You can't avoid
life is gonna life.
Yeah, you can't avoid discomfort. You can't avoid like the crap that life throws at you. But what you can do is you can be more equipped to handle it. And that's just by having really good people in your corner. That's by really evaluating who you're surrounding yourself with, the types of people that you're around. Like, are these people that can actually help you, that you look up to, that you can benefit from, or are these people that are tearing you down? And you really have to get clear on that. I'm not perfect. I've been around people that have really tore me down a lot in life, and I think this move really changed that for me, because I started to actually evaluate the people I was meeting as, is this somebody that I actually can like confide in, or is this somebody that's gonna go behind my back? And You know, you never fully know. You do still have to trust people at the end of the day until proven wrong. But, you know, because I was still trusting even after what I had been through, it's like I've met probably the most amazing people I've ever met in my entire life. So.
Agreed. Yeah. Good group of people that we just love. So, yeah. It's good. We're all focused on the same thing. Creating a better life for ourselves and everybody around us. And that, I think that's the biggest thing, is not just wanting something for yourself, but wanting it for other people too. It's not a competition. There's one of my mentors that I've had in my life for years, back when we still lived in Orange County. He always says there's an abundance of everything in the universe for everybody. It's not a competition. There's so much, but you have to be intentional and you have to do those things. And one thing he says, and I do this every day still, it's a habit now. He challenged me back in 2018 to do this, is every morning before you get out of bed, say thank you. Every night before you go to bed, before you close your eyes, say thank you. It's a very simple thing. Do it for 30 days. It becomes a habit, blah, blah, blah. And it has. I'll say most of the time. I can't say every single night. I guess there's sometimes maybe I don't. Maybe I fall asleep. But every morning for sure, before I get up out of bed, I say thank you.
Yeah.
And it's just a great way to get your head in the right space to go get into the day, whatever it's going to bring.
Gratitude is key. Gratitude is like the key to life, I feel like. And it's weird. I've been very intentional recently too. And I feel like the more gratitude you have, and just sometimes taking a step to just really sit there and realize like what you have. And to not be so focused on the future, what happened in the past, but to be present and to be like, thank you for today. Thank you for, you know, I have a warm bed to sleep in, a comfortable bed to sleep in. I have, you know, I'm comfortable. We have the AC running. Like, I'm grateful. Like, there's things, I have water to drink. I have food to eat. Like, being very specific and like really like write a gratitude list in the morning if you need to, or just like really being intentional with your thoughts. And because I feel like we can get so caught up in what we want and what we still don't have. But realizing like the place you're in now, like this is probably something that you dreamed of having, and you're living in it. And if you don't really live in that moment, it'll pass, and then you'll get to the next stage, and it's always like wanting more and more and more.
You never fully appreciate the moment when you're living it. Yeah. Like
there's so many times where I like look back and I'm like, gosh, like there was a time in my life, this is like a great example of this, but there was a time in my life, and I have videos on my YouTube channel of this, but I was living with 2 to 3 other girls in an apartment, and we were all working at the same job together at a tanning salon. And you know, it sounds like, oh, like whatever, but we were like in our early 20s, and it was so fun, and I miss those days. And now we're all spread out across like the country even now, and I miss those girls, and I miss like the time we had together, and we're still friends. It's just I don't get to see them as much, and so I wish I would have appreciated it a lot more when I was living it. Than looking back on it and being like, oh, I miss them. Like, you know, like it's just being more intentional with your time and really living in the moment, because it'll pass like that. So just being very intentional in life, I think is good for anybody.
I mean, be present, but you can always plan for the future while you're being present. It takes a skill, but if you're intentional, like you said, you can do both.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be it for our first episode. Back.
That's right.
Back.
We might bring some guests. We're talking about some people that we're gonna bring.
Yes, we want to bring in some of our friends that we've met in LA, and two of them. They just got married. You know, it's just life is so different from a year ago, and I think that's something else that I want to say as I close this out is, you know, life can change so quickly if you just have the mindset, you have the optimism, you know that your circumstances right now like aren't forever. Like this isn't forever, and things can change, and they will, and it's whether you want it to be positive or not. And sometimes you just got to take that leap of faith, and you got to trust timing and God, the universe, angels, whatever you believe in.
Listen to yourself, listen to your intuition. If I hadn't,
we wouldn't be in
LA. Wouldn't have met, well, right. And if the group of friends you're talking about, we wouldn't have met them.
Yeah.
If I hadn't listened to my gut.
Okay, Sonja's the coolest. If you don't know that, now you know. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. We're so excited to get this channel back and going, and we're aiming for posting 1 video a week at least. So, you know, getting into an actual consistent schedule. It was, you know, kind of a lot for us to figure out, because with her job and then us moving and me figuring out whatever the heck I'm doing, because I'm doing a lot of things, but we're more structured now, so you can guarantee that there will be at least one video a week for the most part. So yeah, once again, if you guys are listening on an audio, definitely go and check out our YouTube channel. It's just Bounce Cats. It's
not that.
It's Bounce Back with Sonja, Sonja, and Mady, Mady. But yeah, we love you guys, and we will see you in our next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye.